The question is, are any supplements truly needed on carnivore? And I would say of all of them,
it's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show.
Have you heard of Brian Johnson?
Other than an architect we worked with a while ago, I think.
No, not the same one. This is a guy whose motto is "Don't die."
Okay.
And he's some sort of tech guy who's taken some of his money to invest in trying to optimize his health for longevity, so that he doesn't die before technology catches up to make everybody immortal.
All right. This is vaguely familiar now. Yes.
Right. And anyway, he is known to have quite a lot of protocols he follows. He saunas. I think he cold plunges. He does blood transfusions, at least he used to. Takes an untold amount of supplements. And I think he eats kind of vegetarian.
Okay.
Anyway, I think he might be the only person who takes more supplements than you've tried to take in your day.
That is true. So he's doing it for longevity, you said.
Yeah.
That's his purpose. So for me, my supplementation was around just getting through the day and functioning. I had such hormonal issues starting in my teens with insomnia, and basically it resulted in extremely low energy and poor mood. And that's not a fun way to go through life. And things really tanked after I had my pregnancy, my miscarriage, my uterine fibroids. Things really got bad. So we've been doing some moving, and I found
the bin. Before you bring this out,
yes,
did you take all of these all at the same time?
No.
Okay, because that's good. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had room in your stomach for food. All right, bring out the bin.
That's true. And again, these were just to get me through the day, and they helped.
Bring it in. Bring
They
it in.
helped.
We got to show people what we're
Okay.
talking about here. Oh, there it is.
Careful, don't strain a muscle.
So this is a good 10 pounds of sups,
Yes.
and I'm guessing $500.
Yeah. I mean, the money is crazy, but I see in here metabolic blend. I see in here brain health because I had suffered from brain fog. I see mental,
Sleep.
Some lithium orotate for
More sleep.
mood. Yeah, sleep.
More sleep. You didn't take all of those for every night, did you?
No, I did not. And again, these were just to keep me from going off that cliff.
Easy doze. You tried way more for sleep than I was too. I'm afraid of sleep supplements.
Let's move this
So
right now.
she would try it, and a lot of the stuff I wouldn't take because I didn't know what it was going to do to me.
Yeah, and like I said, my worst insomnia came when that was like one of the first symptoms. I was in high school.
Bring out the Spark.
Okay.
Because once you did sleep, you would drink Spark to wake up, because Spark is a caffeinated powder drink.
Yeah. Yeah. With vitamins of some sort.
Yeah, all kinds of vitamins.
Yeah. Now, some of these, like the Spark,
I'm
I
torn.
did on my own. And many of them were also prescribed by various wellness practitioners and naturopathic doctors and so forth. So it was something that I bought into, and I did. And again, I think it helped me for a long time. But what's great is that now with the carnivore diet, I don't face that cliff of no energy, brain fog, poor mood. Like, I can sustain with food this amazing baseline, and I do still do some supplementation. For instance, I know I do zinc. I'm doing an omega-3 right now. I do a multivitamin. I'm trying to think what else, but
I don't monitor your sups.
no, you do not. Iodine, I supplement with iodine. It is a much L-theanine sometimes as well. Yeah, for at bedtime. So my supplementation is minimal compared to what I used to do.
I also have taken a lot of sups over the years, and it's always trying to find the thing I can add to the system to fix some specific problem. And then occasionally, I'll listen to a podcast and somebody will get really excited about a certain supplement. And I'm like, oh, I've got to have those benefits immediately. So I get it from Amazon. I take it. I don't notice anything. And then after I'm like, I don't even remember why I started taking this.
You've said that before. Yes. I don't know what this is for.
And I don't know how many times I've done that. And then eventually it goes to the back of the cabinet and I stop taking it. And then I find it it's like archaeology, supplement archaeology. And I go, why did I buy this? And I can't even remember. And so then I throw it away because it's old.
Well, and these, honestly, this is the culled version. These are the ones that when I went through that cabinet in 2020, 2021, that I chose to save.
So these made the first cut.
These made the cut, yes.
Oh, wow.
And as you're saying, it was about adding back then. And I love what some of the doctors say now, especially Dr. Georgia Eid, but she's not looking at adding things right away. She's looking at subtracting the things that are causing the issues, subtracting those toxins, subtracting those carbohydrates that are causing our brains to be inflamed and our blood sugar to go run wild and insulin resistance. It's about taking out those foods that are causing the bulk of the issue.
It's definitely a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Because supplements, we think of vitamins if you have a deficiency, you supplement with the vitamin to make up for the deficiency. Well, then you have to ask, why is it deficient?
Yes.
Because evolutionarily, you should be getting what you need through your food. And the party line has been, well, if you eat a balanced diet, you will get all the vitamins.
Yep.
But of course, balance is a weasel word. It doesn't have any meaning at all. What do you mean by balanced? It's one of my soapbox things.
Yes.
And I'm not going to get on it any further than that.
No?
Because I feel like every time I say it, we lose subscribers.
Oh, no.
And not because they disagree. It's just because it's boring.
Yeah.
So I've already spent too much time on it. But I do take some supplements still. I take magnesium because I feel like it's helpful for my digestion and also my mood to a certain extent. I think this is just the electrolyte thing. I don't drink many electrolytes anymore, but I do occasionally have if I just feel like maybe I sweat a lot or just I'm feeling a little off, I'll just see if that's it because it's a low risk intervention. I take vitamin D because we live in Wisconsin and we're not out in the sun a lot with whatever it is, K2. There's some particular formulation of that's supposed to be good. That's in the D that I take. I'm taking nattokinase at the direction of a doctor.
Yep.
Because of some arterial plaque. It seems a little bit more like a bank shot to me, but I'm willing to take it. It supposedly also helps a bit with blood pressure, but on Carnivore, my blood pressure is excellent. So I didn't really need that effect. What else? I do take taurine. Because I drink coffee in the morning, I find that supplementing with taurine, because it's this kind of the same thing as Red Bull, is you have caffeine with taurine. It ostensibly, which is a dumb person's word for supposedly, takes the jitter out of the caffeine effect. But there's also supposedly other benefits to taurine, and I knew them at one point and have since forgotten all of them. I've been taking desiccated liver again. I don't take the full dose that's on the bottle. I take a 1 or 2 of the pills every day. I think you actually are supposed to titrate up to 6. And then across the week, that is like 1 serving of liver per week. I think maybe that's too much. I don't really know. I don't have too much of an opinion. But I was having some muscle twitches in my leg. And I was like, there's just something's missing. And I couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't electrolytes. It wasn't potassium. And I started taking that and it helped with it. So I take that as a kind of a little low dose. I do take iodine in pill form every few days. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. I could do Lugol's in my coffee every day. I don't like how it tastes.
Well, surprisingly, I also take a B complex.
Oh yeah, I do that for my homocysteine.
Yeah, I still take a B complex, even though meat is high in all the Bs, most of the Bs.
Yep.
Yeah. And like you said, I have a doctor who monitors that. So I do have some methylation issues, and based on my test results, I still supplement and I stay right in the range.
I am willing to admit that probably all of it could go.
Yeah.
But now it's more like a safety blanket.
Well, I'm coming from this.
Yeah.
And starting with the Flintstone vitamins when I was a kid. So yeah, I'm not quite ready to let them all go yet either. Or most of them. Again, D-iodine. There are some that even carnivore doctors are like, this is a good idea.
That's funny that you had Flintstone. I wasn't given vitamins as a kid. All of the packaged foods was fortified.
Oh.
So why would you have to take Flintstones in addition to what's fortified in the Pop-Tarts and high C juice? And even the milk had vitamin D in it, right?
Yep.
The question is, are any supplements truly needed on carnivore? Mm-hmm. And I would say of all of them, possibly the electrolytes at times. Mm-hmm. And I think it's probably very individual.
I think so, yeah.
And then vitamin D seasonally, depending on where you live.
Yep. I get that tested as well. So do you, don't you? And iodine is, you don't take it sporadically. Like, you only take it sporadically.
Yeah.
I take it every day.
That's because I know you're supposed to do this long urine test to see what your iodine levels are, and I don't feel like doing it.
No.
So, and because it's typical of me, I don't want to think too hard about it. I just want to just shotgun and hope that, something hits the target. That's not a smart way to do it. And that's even with me doing self-experimentation quite a bit.
Yeah.
I run out of attention after approximately 2 weeks on any topic.
Yes. That's about right. Yeah.
I get extremely interested for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't think about that anymore.
Yeah.
But I've been doing carnivore for 2.5 years.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
It is remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's been great results. I'm still in the 160s. I was 169 this morning. I've lost 37 pounds since my very heaviest. And I am not going back.
Well, this is interesting because you talked about you took the liver and you noticed your muscles twitches did reduce. How many things, like as I look at this bin of supplements, and even the supplements I'm currently taking, I don't feel necessarily like I start taking something and I notice this big result most of the time. But with carnivore, that's one of the few things in life where I started it and I noticed a result very, very quickly. And that's, I think, why we're both still doing it 2.5 years later.
Yeah. And somebody may be watching going, well, if you were eating carnivore and you were having the muscle twitches and then you had to add something, well, then is carnivore working? Well, one you could say, well, I should actually just eat liver, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
But also, I got to carnivore at age, 51, going on to 52. So I had a whole 5 decades of just destroying my body. And also taking some statins during that period of time, which caused some significant problems for me. So the healing takes time, which we've talked about many times, and that we're still encountering things that are resolving after a long period of time. And sometimes it kind of flies under the radar because then you're like, oh, wait, I used to have that problem and now I don't. And because it can be gradual like that. So do I think I will always have to supplement with these liver things? I don't know. Eventually, I'll just run out one day and stop taking it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how I do it.
We're not experts on this. N of one.
N of one.
And comfort level of
N of 2.
N of 2.
I mean, you could actually think of it as individually we are doing an experiment, but it's also a marriage experiment
Oh.
and a relationship experiment, which I think it's been very good for.
Oh, yeah, I think, well, definitely. I mean, just on this property alone that used to be a tree farm, we have trees falling down all the time.
They don't tell you that before you buy the place. And then you immediately find, oh, windstorm. There's 3 trees I've now got to cut up and move.
Yeah, but that's just an example. I mean, even we saw this as our sort of retirement plan of staying active and
Not farming trees.
not farming trees, but just taking care of this land
Yeah.
that we have. And as we've said, if we were eating in a different way, that would look very different. I think we'd have a hard time keeping up with the falling trees and all the mowing you do. Yeah.
It's crazy to think of the mowing that I do. And I do it because I enjoy doing it. Whereas when I was 14, I hated mowing with a passion. And I swore someday, I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how, I will hire someone to mow the lawn and I will never use a lawnmower again as long as I live. So help me God.
Yeah.
And as usual, at 14, I was wrong about everything. I was also never having kids or getting married
Yeah.
or cutting my hair or not eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast.
Right?
And I was going to be a rock star. I literally got everything wrong at 14.
But how are you doing now?
I'm doing pretty good. The only thing, I mean, obviously I wasn't going carnivore at 14. I wouldn't eat hardly any meat of any kind at 14, other than maybe some chicken wings.
Big Mac?
No, I wouldn't have a big 14. There was lettuce on Big Mac.
Oh.
I would never have eaten anything with a piece of lettuce on the same plate. There was onions.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't know when I was a little kid is that the McDonald's hamburger had those little chopped up onions under the patty. I didn't know that.
Oh.
If I had known they were there, I would have refused to eat it. But they were hidden. Only later, when I was old enough to open it up to see what was in there, did I notice the onions. So my mom snuck onion nutrition into my diet. But back then, you know, a pure beef, the wheat that it was made out of was probably not sprayed with glyphosate yet.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
The fries were cooked in tallow. Those healthy fries. The ketchup probably had actual sugar in it.
It probably did, yeah.
So it was healthy ketchup. It did have red number 5 in it, probably.
Yeah, probably. Probably. So
Is this the part of the video that no one sees because they clicked off about 4 minutes ago?
it might be. But I like the thing where you got everything wrong at age 14. And not because I want you're wrong. No, but again, think about where we were diet-wise back then. Just as a country and what we thought was healthy. Now, McDonald's was not considered healthy even back then.
No.
But, yeah, just
1984.
that was about the time things really started to go down.
Think about the music that was exploding then. Thriller was like still at the top of the charts. There was Madonna, there was Prince, there was Cyndi Lauper. Van Halen had their seminal pop album, 1984.
Yeah,
Came out that year. Jump, can you believe Van Halen's Jump, which was the kind of the end of one whole phase of their career and their biggest hit, their only number 1 to that point, came out in 1984.
I do know that because I was 13 and still going to the roller rink, and that was where you would jump.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I was learning to play guitar at the time, and my brothers had a band, and they played for the high school prom, and they played the song Jump, and I was the sound man. And for that song only, I would come onto stage to play Jump and play the guitar solo, which I tried to learn, but I wasn't good enough.
Well, I mean, come on. Eddie Van Halen.
I was nowhere near going to be good enough for that. And I played a lot. But anyway, and aerobics and aerobicizing and low fat.
Yeah,
My mom brought home rice cakes because they were going to get thin eating rice cakes with peanut butter on them.
And my uncle sent me the chart about sodium.
Oh, really?
Yes. He had on his dot matrix printer, he sent me a whole list of foods and how much sodium was in them around that time. So that I could keep track of my sodium levels.
So you wouldn't eat too much.
So I wouldn't eat too much.
Interesting.
Yeah. Boy, have things changed.
If only we had just eaten steak and eggs and whole milk and just ignored everybody. Here we would be at this age, having not gone through any of the health and mental health trauma. But on the downside, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel.
That's true.
Because we wouldn't have had to have one. And then we wouldn't have gotten to meet you guys.
True.
And make all these wonderful friends. Now I'm kind of sad about that past life we missed because in that life, we were deprived of these guys.
But fear not.
But maybe...
Yeah? What?
Maybe we would have been carnivore YouTubers earlier because we would have been doing it all along and we'd now be like the stars of Carrie's documentary. I fixed it.
There you go. There you go. I'd be hanging out with Kelly Hogan.
I think that Back to the Future changed an entire generation because it was a model for allowing us to think about how alternate timelines would have turned us out. Whereas previous generations, only the sci-fi reading nerds, like I would have been, would have had those thoughts. Every day stronger.
Every day more blessed.
Jay and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from a tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show.
I choose the meat pill.